Hello, I am Jacob. I'm the host of the show. Thank you for watching, commenting, and subscribing, and just being a part of what we do here. So as you can obviously see, we're in a different location as my office is getting renovated. So let's first begin with some kind of news. The Cowboys signed a running back / fullback in Ryan Nall. What does this mean? A lot of people will say, "Oh, Super Bowl." No. Ryan Nall played for the Chicago Bears as kind of a quarterback, as kind of a running back / fullback combo. Mostly a special teams guy, though. That Cowboys brought him in because they feel like he fulfilled the Corey Clement role, which was they brought Corey Clement in as a special teams guy. That's all he was there for. They brought him. They're bringing in Nall for the same purpose. Now the Cowboys have 5 running backs, or running back fullback combinations, including 2 actual fullbacks. Counting Nall would be 3. He's a special teams guy. That's all he's there for. The expectation is he will be a special teams guy, and that will be it. Maybe he'll prove otherwise, but as of right now, he's only filling the Corey Clement role. An interesting trade happened. The Eagles have traded with the New Orleans Saints some draft pick capital, as New Orleans gets picks 16, 19, and 194, and the Eagles get pick 18, 101, and 237, and also a 2023 first and a 2024 second. Now, what does this mean? We're kind of going back in the olden age when I can first remember it. When the draft first happened, people didn't like draft picks. They were just ridiculous. Drafts were so long anyway. You didn't need to. Like, you hear famous stories of Bart Starr got drafted in like the 15th round or the 13th round. It just happened. Like, the drafts would go days and be 18-hour periods. Like, it was grueling. We're starting to go back into that situation of picks really don't matter as much. Like, the players matter that you draft, but the picks don't matter, and we should try and get as much capital as we can. The Eagles still have 2 firsts this year, and we'll have 2 firsts next year, so they came out on the good side of the deal. The Saints, they're trying to move up. Maybe they can get into shouting distance of a quarterback. Maybe a Malik Willis, maybe a Kenny Pickett if he's around. Anything could happen. This quarterback draft class is a little strange. It's not super quarterback heavy. In fact, you can make this the point of that I wouldn't go for any of these quarterbacks until like the 4th or 5th round besides Pickett and Willis. And you'll be right. Because if I told you you have a quarterback from UCLA and then another quarterback from Liberty, you're going to be like, where's Liberty? What college is Liberty? Where is that? Like, it's just one of those things of a guy from Liberty is going to be within the first round of a draft, be a first round draft choice. That's just the way things go. But definitely the Eagles got the better of the deal. The Saints have re-signed Traquan Smith to a 2-year, $6 million deal. $3 million guaranteed, 4.5 in incentives. It's a good deal on their behalf. Going back Traquan Smith, he was a good player. He does very well in contested catches, so it all works out. The Bills and Stephon Diggs have reportedly agreed to a new contract extension, 4 years, $104 million. He had 2 years left on his remaining contract, so he's locked up for the next 6 seasons. what does this mean? Well, there was rumors going around that was floated by Stefan's brother, Trayvon Diggs, who's the Cowboy cornerback, saying on how cool it would be to play with his brother in the pros. And there's only been so many occasions where brothers have been in the pros together. One of those occasions was a few years ago when Jason and Devin McCourty were both on the Patriots. They won a Super Bowl together. That had never happened. So the rarity that it happens is amazing. The Cowboys have had a similar thing happen when Rod and Jalen Smith were on the same team. So it would have been cool to see Trayvon and Stefon Diggs on the same team, but it looks like they may have to wait a while to see if that comes to fruition. As we talked about a week or 2 weeks ago, the Bills are wanting to build a new stadium. Well, they now got the okay of the taxpayers that they will get $600 million from taxpayers to build their new stadium. Now they need $1.4 billion, so $600 million is it's a lot, but it's not what they need it fully. We'll have to just wait and see. Whitney Merciless, the former linebacker for the Houston Texans and Green Bay Packers, has retired after 10 seasons in the NFL. This is interesting, but say the least. Merciless was a decent player. Probably one of the best players when he was with the Texans for the majority of his career. When he goes to Packers, the Packers you didn't hear much about after that. So that was, I guess it was time, or at least he felt it was time to hang it up. The Bucks signed former Cowboy linebacker Keanu Neal. Now, the contract, I would assume, was vet minimum. The contract, though, is, as I said, vet minimum. Neal had announced earlier in the offseason that he was changing back to safety because it didn't work at linebacker. I think the reason why he did not stay in Dallas was because you couldn't vouch for a guy at linebacker if he hadn't played very well. The Texans and Brandon Cooks had come to an extension, 2 years, $59.6 million. Good deal. Way to keep the guy around. $49.6 million. He's very consistent. He does get injured, but he's very consistent, constant 1,000-yard wide receiver. Played on he's played on 4 teams in 8 years. That's a little concerning, but otherwise, very consistent player. And some sad news in the NFL world. This past weekend, a lot has come out in terms of a few deaths in the NFL family. Former Cowboy defensive end had passed away. He was only about 76 years old. If I pronounce his name wrong, I'm sorry. I believe it's Roger Mayfield. If it's not, tell me what it is in the comment. He was only 76, so that was a difficult situation to be in. One of the Cowboys coaches, Gary Brown, passed away yesterday at the age of 52 from cancer. And one of the more shocking ones was Dwayne Haskins, which we'll talk about in a future video.